What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to a brand new episode. Today I wanted to show you guys how to identify a leak using a certain tool that is actually going to help you get through tight places, especially on the back of the engine. And what tool I use and how to operate that tool. It's a very cool little trick to really get down in those places and see without actually doing a lot of bending over. So let's get to the car and let's get to it. All right, guys, here is the Marauder. So the tool is I like to use is this guy right here. This is a beautiful camera with an LED on top with a long wire. This is about 10 feet long, and then you also have this screen right here. This is about a 3.5-inch screen. It really helps getting in tight places, especially if you have leaks all the way on the back of the valve covers, on the rear main seal. Even if your EGR is leaking and you're doing a smoke test, you can actually take the camera and place it in tight spots, because even if you lift the car up, you can't see around the rear main seal if it's leaking from above, bottom, or something like that. So this is how I like to use this. So this is really long, and this also has a bright flashlight on the bottom of it, which is actually really nice. You can see it turn on. There you go. The screen. So all you do is you hit this baby on, it turns on, digital camera, and voila. So you could clearly see, and it's nice and zoomed in, you can clearly see the engine bay. So we're gonna remote start this puppy. Here we go. All right. So I'm gonna get to work, and basically, we're basically going to just view it on the screen as you inspect it. Can you guys see much? So basically, yep, just like that. So that's the valve cover right here. We're gonna go right, that's the front of the car. There's too much glare, so I'm just gonna do it on my own and hope for the best. Alright, good news. I didn't find a single leak. So before, when I first bought the Marauder, I drove it really hard and it smoked. Smoke came out the engine bay and underneath right about here. So I brought it in, looked underneath, and then I sprayed some brake clean. If there was any oil residue, it would clean it up. So then I drove it, and it's been about a week, and actually there's no longer any smoke, but I was just making sure that it's not leaking or burning oil. I kept checking the dipsticks, trans, power steering, brake, and the engine oil, and everything stayed level. So I think what happened was they recently did a valve cover gasket on this and never brake cleaned the exhaust manifold, so all the oil that was on there just sat, and it never got driven hard where it like heated up the cats and heated up the exhaust manifold. So when I drove it hard, it started smoking, and now it's all cleaned up and it's beautiful.